here. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I was just sort of throwing stuff on there. You guys know me. I never know what I'm doing. It's always a surprise. I should make sure I shake up these things well. I might thin that down. I might thin down this white a little bit because I want to use a little more, I think. Boy, it's hard to open. Got paint all over myself. Put a little more in there, just in case. Oop. Hard to keep my balance. I've had this headache for 3 days now. A little hard to keep my balance and my sense of humor, both. That looks okay on here. Okay, good. I had looked this up and it had a wee bit of an error. I just want to make sure it was all worked out, and it is. I think this is what I want to do. Let me get those bubbles out of there. Just do a blowout, like I'm doing somebody's hair, to a blowout. Yeah, just tilt that, kind of move it around. You know, if I'm going to blow it, then it doesn't matter too much. Just want to get this covering the canvas a bit so it's got something to work on. Could use a swiper to do that, but I thought I'd just do it this way. Then when it gets closer, we'll swipe at the ends. Or add more paint if we feel it needs more paint. Do that too. It's running over the oh, hey, you, Mert! I just double checked I was actually streaming. I thought, yeah, I hope. There's sort of a weird thing. I'd forgotten to shut down the system last time I was out here. So it was still showing that it thought I was just had an error or something. I don't know. Anyway, just made sure it was. I'm a little lower on this than I thought. Maybe I'll stick with the white. I got more of that. Probably don't need it all the way to the edges, but let's go ahead and actually put it on the edges on purpose. You know how the edges are. They're always hard to deal with. Look at this little spatula and just move things around a bit. I felt I was just, I don't know. I was just sort of, not really in a mood, but I was just dealing with stuff and a little, ugh. And these things over these diamond painting companies and whether or not the one was using the work illegally and somebody else. So the other one ended up licensing everything. And then the first one came back and said they were sorry, they were going to license everything. They bought the kits in China and they didn't know and stuff. And then I checked back with the, and they go, well, we're brand new to this, boy, and we didn't know. And I said, well, you need to check that. I go, see, they don't worry about copyright there. You need to check, and it's okay to buy the kits there, provided that you check with the artists and get a licensing agreement in place. But they were a new company, pretty much. They only had 5 things up there, and 4 of them were mine. But I kind of wondered why the person who contacted me didn't just ask them. They probably would have gone ahead and just done, you know, obviously they would have gone ahead and done the right thing. So there you are. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Okay. I said, I was thinking we'd do a little bit of a blowout. I don't know if this will work, but I had this idea that I wanted to do it kind of like this. Maybe a center area open. Oh, I love this color. I mixed this up. I made this myself. I mixed it up. It's like a cranberry color. So it was alizarin crimson, and I added, I think, some indigo. I'm going to add more of here too. Plenty more down in here. And here. A little bit more of the, oh, this color blue, that's what I like. Oh, you know, that's probably almost enough to go ahead and blow that out, really. Let's add a little of the gold. That doesn't tend to turn too green on me. Oh, I like a little bit of that in there. I'll put some up in there too. If it turns green, we might just do something else with it. I can probably put some of this more in the middle. Maybe even a little tiny bit of plum. Plum or purple? Which is that? This is plum. Actually, it's more violet than plum. Anyway, I don't have too much to do, but I will have to, I just set the timer for a half hour when I came out here. And then I have to run in and just start the oven and put the leftover lasagna back in the oven. So not a huge deal. All right, let's try blowing. I don't know quite how it's going to work, but let's just try blowing. Actually, I want to change my mind. I want just a touch of turquoise in there. Just looks so pretty sitting there. There we go. Oh, should we put a metallic in? Let's put a little bit of a metallic in. Actually, I could have put in some metallic in there, maybe a little down in there. Do I have any of that other metallic? This might end up being a little bit dark. I put in too much paint. That's dark green. That's not, this must, is this what I want? I think so. Some in there. All right. Oop, where are we here? I just dropped that cap. I heard it. There it went. Clunk. Okay. Let's get out the old hair dryer and see what this does now. Turned a little muddy, and that didn't go across the way I thought it was going to. Just did some weirdness down here. Let's take that center bit, and I'm going to turn this, I'm going to move everything to one side for a minute. And let's turn this on its side here. See if we can pull this over here this way. Since the colors didn't come with me. They stayed right where they were, which was not expected. Oh, that's kind of pretty. I might do is blow it again even. I'll do that one more time, I think, right there. I kind of like that streakiness. Just going to pull this over here too. And I'm going to kind of where it broke weird. Okay. Might be a little thick. That might have been my problem. Turn that back up right. Oh. I have a smaller blower and detangle it inside. This paint is a little thick, so I think that. Oh, hey, Dan! I kind of covered my window. Oh, well, that's okay. However long you're there, it's always a treat. I'm going to be a little bit in and out anyway because I'm going to do this, and then I've got to go in and deal with some leftovers, getting them in the oven, and then I'm going to be back out, so I'm going to be kind of back and forth. Not sure about that. I wanted to get a little bit of the old controlled chaos and a little less of the actual chaos there. I like that red. Let's bring that a little more over there. I guess the good news is that the sky didn't turn green anywhere. So that's a bonus. I like what that did. Will that do that down here again? I like that. It looks almost like waves. So this needed some work anyway. I was going to do a swipe or something, but since this is here, we'll do that. I kind of like that. Got a little bit of excess paint on it. Might be some of my problem. It's so funny. I would never say hooray because you weren't going to be here. Always quite the opposite. But that's sort of interesting in its own little way. These look sort of like layers of waves and sort of like a bluff thing forming there. This corner is still a bit of a mess. Kind of not what I expected to do, but you know, didn't like the way that streaks across there. Still not sure that upper part isn't a little too chaotic. I see. It's not bad. I think we might try just a tiny bit of tilting. See what happens there. I'm hoping to use some of these. I brought some rocks out, and I'm hoping to use some of the leftover paint for rocks, if it works out that way. You know, that is really not bad for a seascape. I'd like to maybe do a little bit in that one corner. I know. I always sound so shocked. Oh my God, that's not bad. What would have been the odds? I was expecting something much more horrific. Let's see if we want to just try a little bit of a swipe here and sort of even out these bluffs a bit. I like that just as a subtle thing going on there, but the paint's striking a tiny bit weird. A little bit of weirdness going on there. Not in a good way. Let's see here. Turn that this way. Maybe try putting a little bit more light in there. Across here. Oh! Swipe that again. Ah! And then we'll just work that out like, you know, as if we didn't just do something stupid. That would be helpful. This yellow bit here is really bizarre. Let's try and work that out. Come back across. A little more more time like this. We have to, we'll swipe it again as well. I'm not above it. I'm not too proud to say I have to swipe something again. So try and get some of that weird breakage off there. Okay, again, that's not too bad. You want to tilt that a little bit and just maybe do a tiny bit of blowing in there. That is really looking like a bluff, isn't it? I don't trust myself with a blower, so I'm going to use the straw. Kind of reform some cloudy things above it there. I can do that without disturbing the bluffs there because they look pretty good. Well, I was just, like I said, I was just dealing with stuff that was just feeling a little complex to me. I just wanted to get out here and try and forget everything that was going on. Like I said, this here, I kind of want to make that into a beach. Do that though. Do that. I think what I'd like to do, I'm going to use that. This yellow is usually pretty good for foamy stuff, so let me put that in there. I usually like that for that. Let's try now. For that, I would think I would like to blow it back again. Oops! I stepped on it. Yeah, see, I like the way that breaks on there. That looks good to me. It's looking a little boring. This looks like just turquoise and nothing else. So let's try and put that back in there without disturbing anything too much. Now, got some little areas here maybe. That paint's still really thick. I don't want to tilt it though, that'll just distort the heck out of everything else. It is a little thick in there still. Not that it won't dry, you know, it'll still dry nice, but I'd like to do something in here. Do I want to even add some dark or more lights? I'd like to get a little more foam in there, but how, you say? Let's try. A few little dots in here of this, since it does such interesting things along in there even. And then let's try blowing that. Oh, thank you, Dan. It might be a tad busy, and there's some air bubbles. Just getting rid of some of those air bubbles so they don't form weird pockets. That you reminded me the sky existed. I was so intent on this I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Oh, that made for some interest, didn't it? Did something bizarre there. Move that out there. They look almost like little white caps or something out here, which is kind of what I wanted in a sense. Okay. The only other thing I wanted to do is maybe do that beach like it's reflective down here. Let's see if we could form a beach down here, is what I was thinking. Maybe if we add some, like a row of white. What I might want to do is put this onto something now. I could put it on the spatula edge. It already has some. This is a slightly bigger canvas, kind of fills up my little area here. And the foam line becomes the what shows you what's ocean and what's sand. That's not bad. Let me see if I've got enough white in here to maybe move this in here a little bit too. Just add, this area is kind of boring, you know, and it's going to dry. You and I both know it's going to dry boring too. And then I'm not going to be happy with it, and you guys have to deal with me, and it won't be pleasant for anybody. Let's see if I can just make this lighter above there, where the ocean is. You know, not really make it look like foam, just sort of mix it in there. I mean, we can sure try. We can try anything, right? Just won't necessarily work, but we can try it. I just wanted something that was a little bit different than these darker waves. That looks all right. Something in there. Some weird breakages going on in there. Oh, and then I should probably do something with that foam as well. Get the old straw back out there. No, I just wanted to come out to, it's weird, but sometimes when I'm out here pouring, like I kind of feel like I've got a handle on life, and I desperately needed that today. It's just one of those days where things just seemed complex and hard, and like they were getting away from me a bit. I think it's that headache. That's what I think. All right, I'm going to let this sit here for a minute and go and start my oven and put that leftover lasagna in there. Then I can come back and take another look at it. I might want to, gosh, I like that bluff, but I might want to reshape this one just a little bit. Maybe add some darker colors in there or something. All right, I'll be right back. I think the beach is okay. You can definitely see where the foam is on it. Who's out here? Grumpy's out here. Looking to see if I replace that blueberry bush yet. Back. Like the bad penny I am. Okay, let's see what we got here. Re-glove myself. Oh, thank you, Humor. Yeah, you know, I think it's looking pretty good. I want to do a little bit more with the water, but even this part, pretty good. I would say offhand that what I feel like I need to do here is maybe get a little bit more dark colors mixed into that water in places. We've got a lot of medium tones in there, but not a lot of dark. The sky is maybe a tad busier, but it's got this nice open area. I like that. And then it gets darker up there, which is fine. But I think I'd like to add maybe even some of that darker red and some, just going to add a little bit this way. And maybe some indigo. And just mix that in there. Indigo. What's this one? Particularly under that bluff, I think, because there'd be a little shadow there. So maybe something like that, but we'll just sort of try and quietly mix that in there. I think that's about everything it would need at that point. I might, oh gosh, I might get the straw out again. Sometimes when you mix this way, the color actually sinks in and gets a little lost. Whereas when I blow it, sometimes it tends to pop back out there. I tried to pop a bubble, I'm just moving it around. Okay, let's do that. Boy, that bubble is intense. It lives there now. It is intense. Okay, now we got the color in there, but let's try and get a little more of a sweep to it. Oh, there it popped. Oof, that's a big bubble. But yes, we got some more of that dark color in there coming in, almost like an extra wave. That I'm okay with. This part here that I put in there, still not too sure. Let me try and swipe in some darker color in there. I'm not sure I actually did that, but I can always use the, let's do that. Let's try the straw on that. Yeah, just try that with the spatula. Maybe just try and mix this in there a little bit. Particularly on this edge, it kind of didn't go all the way across the way you want it to. Let's try that again. But you know, as the water goes back, of course, you see fewer details. It doesn't look as choppy as the close-up water. I'm going to try and just dab out. There's a couple weird little white dots in there. I'm just going to try and dab those out there. And maybe, again, pop some of these bubbles. And let's see here. So the only other question I had, it looks almost, it might be an optical, it looks almost to me like this bluff sort of sinks down there. And I don't really particularly want it to do that. I think I want it to be a little lifted back up there. I mean, sometimes the bluff in front, it's going to be a little lower down, but I think it's maybe a little too lower down. We'll move that, and then maybe add some other colors to it. There's some weirdness going on up here too. Let me just try and fix the weirdness. It's not weird in a good way. It's weird in a funky way. Oh, now I got a weird streak in there. Why? That's how these things can roll, isn't it? There we go. That's a little better. I always get the straw out and blow some clouds in there if we want to. All right. So I think what I'd like to do, I probably have plenty of dark paint here, but this thing kind of fills this thing up here. Actually, not too much. We were very conservative with our paint today. That might work for me. See if I can pull some of this out. Let's see if that's dark enough. I might need to add some darker color to that. Yes, and yes I do. Let's add some dark in here. For this particular bluff, I think I'd like it to be a little darker. See if we can get that all the way up there. Sometimes it's fine just doing it this way. I might get a blower of some kind back out there, probably just a straw. I don't want to be too radical on this thing. Okay, that looks a little bluffier to me. A little bit fluffier. Do we feel? Let's hope. That could almost be an extra little wave coming up there. That's pretty. I don't like this action going on in here. For a horizon line, that's not too bad either. Absolutely. Okay. All right, this is actually distorting a little bit funky, so let's try and re-distort it correctly. Maybe I'll do a touch of detail on that. I can almost put some little trees or something in there. I think I'd like to do just like a line of foam underneath there. A very thin line of foam. I wonder if there's any, maybe I can use this over here and dump that in there. Just under that bluff, just to make it look more like a bluff. Oh, thank you. And I'll probably have to blow that a bit as well, but we can do it. We can certainly do that. Whoops, hit that red a little funky. Let's see if that's enough white to blow on it. I'm not sure if I got enough on there. It's staying more of a white line. I don't know that that's a bad thing. It's not, just because it wasn't what I expected doesn't make it a bad thing. Sometimes it does better than I would have thought. It kind of looks like a little bit of a, okay, maybe a, here, popsicle stick. Oh, good night. Sweet dreams. Well, that's an interesting effect. That might be a winner for me. I'm going to still get a little more white in there. Put a little in this corner. Then I think I'm going to get out some rocks because I was waiting until I had leftover paint, and I varnished a lot of rocks so I could make them into owls later. So I want to get some initial pour paint on there for owls. This is actually working out pretty well. Like the sea's a little choppy around this where this is, which makes sense because that one thing looked almost like a wave popping up. So That doesn't not make sense. I'm just wondering if we want it a little darker right underneath it, or if we can leave it. We can probably leave that. I did that really quick sunflower sketch this morning, and I didn't put that much time into it, but I was sort of following along with this guy that does this art blog. And you know how sensitive I am over copyright, so even though mine didn't even really look like his and I'd done extra things, I tagged him in it so that, you know, I would acknowledge it. And he sent me like all these tips and stuff, and it's like, gee, if I'd known he was going to do that, I would have put more effort into it, you know. But it was really nice of him to you know, to take an interest. I didn't mean it to be sort of like a finished thing I was going to sell or something. It was just a little something I doodled this morning, you know. I said I was going to try and doodle stuff more to, you know, help my brain function, and that's what I did this morning. So I didn't mean for it to be a finished thing, but there we are. But it was nice of him. I didn't say that to him, you know, after he'd gone to that trouble. I just said, well, just thanked him. See if I could get a little something different here. I felt like that white looked a little too like a blob of white, so I just wanted to mix it in here a little better. Try not to destroy everything we've worked so hard for. It doesn't look too bad. There's always this, I always get this one really weird streak that'll come out from a bluff. It's always in a different place, and it's really hard to get rid of once it's in there. Sometimes I make it be a tree. It's like, well, then it's a tree. that looks like a tree right there. I guess my only... Yeah, exactly. He even sent me a video on like shading and stuff, and it was like I tried to explain to him too. I said, see, I'm using a gel pen, and the gel pen really just doesn't do that. I understand. See, I understand the concept. When you have a ballpoint or the micron pens, which is what people tend to use for drawing, like if you do a bunch of lines in a row, the lines will get kind of fainter, you know, and so you can use that to your advantage for shading. Well, the pens I got for mandalas, and you don't really want that with a mandala, and so my pens tend to be either on or off. Either they're making a line or they don't make a line. They don't really make fainter lines as they go across. So I was trying to explain that to him. It's not like it's not that I didn't understand that. It's that my pens don't do that, you know. But like I say, I mean, he took his time for free to try and help me, so I was going to be pretty nice about it, you know. I think I'd like to do something just a little bit darker back there. I wonder if I want to even use the turquoise even. Just like one line of something. Which is this one? just to give it a little bit of, just some variety of tone back here. It just looks a little dull. I don't like to have areas that look a little too like the same all over the place. Mix it in too much. So I'm trying to straighten it without mixing it in. It's tricky procedure there. That did add some difference in there, some variety of tone. I like to get this almost like a darker tone. I don't know at all, just sort of sunk in there. Like a darker tone across that, I think. Like the swell of a wave or something back there. I think that helped a bit. Just trying to make more horizontal lines. Still think this area is a little bit busy, but you know, we can let it dry, see what it does. Looks a little bright again, doesn't it? Let me dull this down. I thought I turned that on the darker one, but maybe I didn't. Let me just configure video, and let's see what number we're at there. We're at 5. That's usually, oh, no, it goes the other way. That's what my problem is. Okay, okie doke. There you guys go. That's more what this painting looks like. All right, there, now you can see the colors in that, huh? I think we'll probably leave off there. I think right now, that's what I'm thinking. This area got a little fainter on the paint. Now that it's sitting here for a minute. See if there's any, I want to just add some more to that. So I've got plenty of those sort of colors over here. I think I might dump some color right here. So it just didn't end up with quite enough. We could blow that out if we need to. Right there too, we need some, sometimes as it sets you start noticing areas that were a little too thin on paint. You can see that canvas tooth coming in, so I try and correct that if I see it. If I see it in time. This is a busy enough sky that you can kind of patch this sort of stuff in there. Probably pretty effectively. Like I said, maybe just take the straw enough to mix that in there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, there we got that thin part taken care of there. All right, well, I'm going to set this aside and we'll see if we can get some of those rocks done up for owls. I'm going to set that aside at this point. Yeah, there's a little spot in the sky, but you know, I tend to be too much of a perfectionist with these things, and then I start doing more harm than good. You guys